What's up, guys, and welcome to video number 2 of our Godspeed episode breakdown. As you can see on your screens, I have a picture of Nora's best friend, who name is Leah. Now, we all been teased about Leah being a speedster and stuff like that, but this wasn't the situation. Now, I don't know for sure if she could have had powers exactly like Nora and just never knew it, but it never manifested in this episode. Leah was very much a female Cisco. Now, I know a lot of you guys could agree because she had the same characteristics as Cisco, seeing as she was trying to come up with a name for Nora, and coming up with names for this speedster and just, the whole nature of Cisco existed in this female version, basically. And then aside from all of that, as I said, she was her best friend. And I felt like, in all honesty, there was, a bit of flirtation. Once again, you see this happen with Nora. She just happens to come off very cutesy, very likable. It's just fun to have conversations with her, fun to be around her. And I kind of gotten that vibe, no pun intended, but I kind of gotten that vibe from her once again. Now, the first time we seen it was with Spin in that fake news episode, earlier in this season. And it was pretty funny to see, and something that I would definitely ship. But this time around, not the one with Spin. I would definitely ship this one if it was a thing with Leah because of their connection, and Spin was just a random encounter, So that's my take on Leah. And I felt like she was a great character, character that should, be a recurring role, It would have been nice to see her once again, maybe if they would have traveled to the future and found her or something like that and link up to her or something. But she reached her ultimate demise as Godspeed, initiated the whole reverse flash kind of situation. But he pretty much punched her in the midsection instead of, like straight through the heart. But it was so canon to season 1. That was my whole, point of me saying that, because this episode very much paid, homage to season 1, where Nora messes up with her speed and she, zips into the back of a truck. If you guys remember, Barry done, kind of like the same thing when he first got in his speed. The only thing is, as I said, this connection with Leah and Nora was different because Barry wasn't that glued to Cisco the way Nora is glued to Leah. But as I said, in my opinion, she was a great character. It kind of sucked that she died, but every character can't last all seasons, so they come and they go. But as I said, I felt like, in my opinion, she could have been a good character, a nice little story to develop, maybe, for them to explore how she met Nora. Maybe if they would have dipped into that a little bit more, but in a future episode, it would have been, pretty cool to see that. But, sadly, she reached her demise, as I said. So it's not much really to talk about her character, seeing as we already know, how Cisco is, and it's just a female version, smart, witty, kind of funny, always trying to come up with some kind of catchphrase and stuff like that, always piecing things together, once they like sync up minds. Every time Nora would say something, Leah would catch on and, they kind of like finish each other's thoughts and just kind of that nature, basically. And another reference, if you guys remember how Caitlyn and Cisco is, you can also say that's how Nora and Leah is in this situation. So I'm going to end part two's video, seeing as there isn't much to say in this one. And I will let you guys know in part 3 what I'm going to be talking about. I catch you.